Well, when it comes to saving koalas, you rarely see a division in political debate. They're koalas, they're cute, they're cuddly. Why would you fight over them? But a fight did break out last September when the New South Wales government came up with a new planning policy that took away the rights of farmers to clear their land if their district was declared a koala habitat. I am simplifying this, but so you understand what was intended. That then changed because Deputy New South Wales Leader John Barilaro went ballistic, threatening to cross the floor unless it was changed. Well, we hear today a truce has been called, and it means rural areas will not be subject to the new policy. Now, there are finer details to be worked out, and since last year, the two parties have left Environment Minister Liberal Matt Keane out of those negotiations, we hear. Is it really a case of kissing and making up then? Let's find out. The Deputy Leader in New South Wales, John Barilaro, joins me right now. G'day there, John.
G'day, Chris. How are you?
Good, thank you very much. Good to have you on. I thought the New South Wales Coalition at one stage was heading for some kind of koala split. Have you kissed and made up?
Look, absolutely. There was, well, let's call it for what it was. It was the Koala Wars, we called it, and we referred to it last year. And we were fighting based on policy, which was about attacking the property rights of farmers who are already wrapped up in plenty of red tape. We lost that debate in the sense that emotion, the politics of the day, even the media in a way, made it all about a rift and the breakdown and of course the opportunity for the coalition to split up. And I take responsibility that we went hard and but that's history. Over that period, when I came back from my leave, there was an attempt to get some legislation through the House. That was complicated because realistically we were trying to fix a planning instrument with legislation through the House, and it was always set up to fail. But I made a commitment to Rob Stokes that if we can, quietly behind closed doors over the months from Christmas to now, work this out, we should. And we did exactly that. We surrounded ourselves with the experts, no political advisors.
No Matt
myself
Keane?
and Rob. No, look, Matt wasn't part of it because this is a planning decision. A SEP is a planning instrument. Matt was kept in the loop. Matt is on the press release, and Matt is absolutely supportive where we're at. But we just didn't need Matt's contribution or Adam Marshall's contribution as the Minister for Primary Industries because we had the experts in the room. And then what we were able to do is come to what I think a fair balance where there is a koala SEP. Tree species go from 10 to 120 plus. The definition is stronger. Core koala habitat across the state, about 95%, where we know urban sprawl and the growth of cities is a real attack on that habitat. And then we've just carved out what we call rural lands 1, 2 and 3, where it's genuine farming. Yeah. But in areas like Tweed and Byron, Blue Mountains and the Central Coast, we haven't even done that. So we were always about farmers and farmers' rights, not about developers. If someone wants to rezone their land to build villas, well, guess what? They'll go through the whole process and they'll have to abide by the rules.
There was a suggestion there in the early stages that, farmers were koala killers. The Greens got quite uppity about this, and what I would have thought, now that we've reached some kind of compromise, they need to understand that if koalas are on a property like yours, John, and you still want to remove certain vegetation and some of those trees, you will go out of your way to protect those koalas, as every farmer will.
Yeah, look, absolutely. This idea that somehow farmers want to destroy habitat or get rid of koalas is just one of the greatest furphies of all time. But, we just because farmers have trees, it doesn't necessarily mean they are habitats or the appropriate trees for koala habitat. And, the Greens will have it their way. They'd shut down farming tomorrow. You know that. I know that. Yes. They're anti-farming. They're anti-development. They're anti-progress. They hate mining. They hate investment. They hate infrastructure. But at the end of the day, what we've now been able to do is carve out where not only are we going to sustain and maintain current habitat, but we've got the opportunity to grow it. And, there's nothing wrong with a farmer that has land, that has identified some koala habitat, that through something like the Biodiversity Conservation Trust that we have as a state, that we actually pay those landowners for conservation. And that's already been in place for other biodiversity offsets, so why wouldn't we do it with koala habitats? And I'll tell you what, farmers would sign up to it tomorrow. Yeah,
it's like COVID, you've got to balance more than one issue. You've got to balance, as in COVID, all of those situations. And in this koala habitat discussion, it was about making sure that farmers can get about being productive and being able to move on. I want to ask you one quick question. Have you had the jab yet?
No, I haven't had the jab. The Premier and I have had a conversation about that. We'll wait for the rollout of the AstraZeneca because we believe that is just as good as anything else out there. So I'm sure when our time is right, when we've gone through the quarantine workers, we've looked at all our frontline services, the Premier and I and probably other ministers will get in front of a camera, get the jab, show everybody it's what we need to do as a nation if we want to get back to normal.
Someone's going to faint when they get the jab, you know. Some politician, John, is going to fall over and faint. Let's hope it's not you, OK? Thank you very much for your time.
I don't mind a needle, so it's all good.
Thank you for that.